Hello, my name is Mitchell Thompson, and today we are going to debunk the learning style myth. First of all, what is a neuromyth? It is a common misconception about how the brain functions or behaves, and some examples include the idea that humans only use 10% of their brain, that an individual is either right-brained or left-brained, and that listening to classical music will increase one's ability to reason. Those are all learning myths, and learning styles fits into this. We as educators are often susceptible to these learning style myths because we have a desire to help our students learn. And if we can understand how the brain learns, we can then adapt our teaching in a way that we can help students learn in a way that their brain learns. Hook and Farah state that educators are eager for innovative methods to improve student learning, but they may lack the scientific training needed to critically assess the methods of neuroeducation. As teachers, we are trying to bridge this gap between neuroscience and educational implementation, and in that process, we can and often do get lost in these learning style myths. As a result, there's a lot of time and money wasted on pursuing these so-called brain-based interventions that lack a firm basis in research. And what we're going to find out is that the learning styles theory lacks this basis in research. The learning styles theory has three main concepts as defined by Philip Newton from the Swansea University Medical School in the United Kingdom. The first is that individuals will express a preference regarding their style of learning. The second is that they will show differences in their ability to learn about certain types of information. Auditory learners are going to listen better. Those with visual are going to be able to pick out pictures better, and so forth. The third is that matching of instructional design to a student's learning style will result in better educational outcomes. This is overwhelmingly accepted by educators in higher institutions as being true. But Philip Newton, in his research, he debates even the concept too, that it doesn't stand up because there's not enough evidence for it, but he claims that the theory completely falls down when it comes to the matching of instruction to a student's learning style. There is no rigorous evidence for this. What he did is he searched the ERIC and PubMed databases to see what an average educator would find if they just searched learning styles. What he found is that the learning styles myth is alive and well in higher education, despite there being no rigorous research proving that matching instruction to students' learning style will work. It doesn't. There's no research for it. In fact, it's harmful. It groups students, it builds within them a false sense of confidence, and it limits their exploration. A student with a certain learning style may not do other subjects with different learning styles because they feel like they're not able to do that. But also, if they have a certain learning style, they may feel that they should be able to do everything that requires that learning style, which is not necessarily true either. The biggest harm comes from teachers wasting their time on this ineffective strategy. For more information, you can visit the Smithsonian Institute YouTube video with the link there. So why is this so prevalent among education? Number one, it can be used as a way to show parents that a teacher is differentiating specifically for their student. Number two, as Newton explains, that there is a cognitive bias towards the effectiveness of learning styles. I was taught that this was a good way to teach when I was in college. That's a bias. His research shows that there's a lot of information out there that says that this will work, and it adds to this bias. And so this is why there's questions raised about educators being able to effectively navigate the neuroscience and the many myths associated with it. Is there anything accurate about this learning style? Well, concept one is accurate. Students are clearly different, and they have different ways that they would like to do things. And so we need to quit wasting time on concepts 2 and 3 and build on this concept 1. Research shows that using multiple representations of content is more beneficial than just using one representation, and that this technique helps all learners regardless of their learning style. This is what we have been learning in the carried text, how we learn. That if we can multiply the number of perceptions, hints, contextual clues to a given memory, if we can associate images, experience, sounds to it, we will further enrich those skills and that knowledge and that information, and make it sharper and more accessible for longer periods of time. So yes, every child is different, and they most likely have different ways on how they would like to learn and do things. It is debatable whether or not they learn certain information better in certain ways, and it is absolutely not true because there is no rigorous research-based evidence that shows that if you match content and instruction to a student's learning style, that there's any educational benefit. What is true is that students will be able to retain and recall more information if the content is presented in a number of different contexts. So thank you for debunking the learning styles myth with me.